Man, welcome back to another episode of the Think Successfully Room. This is a platform where we focus on building mindsets, we building character, bringing value to both you and your people, and aligning your body with your intelligence. I'm your host, QB, so effing amazing, and this is my guy Blackamore, man. And today we have a very interesting topic, right? As far as how a heartbreak can affect you physically, right? So when somebody says I'm heartbroken. You know what I'm saying? We a lot of times we feel like that's more of an emotional thing. Like, but what we don't understand is that our heartbreak really does something to you physically, in the body, right? So before we get into it, bro, is that, I just want to go over just a core summary, just a brief summary of what this episode will mainly be about before me and Blackamore go into personal experiences. So heartbreak triggers hormones, right? So when someone experiences intense emotional pain, right, the brain responds much like it does in physical danger, right? So it releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, and these activates that fight or flight response, which affects your heart rate, blood pressure, and just your overall nervous system. The second thing is the brain and body use the same pathways, right? So study shows that emotional pain lights up the same brain regions that process physical pain. You know what I'm saying? Specifically areas tied to pain perception and emotional distress. That's why, emotional pain feels like physical pain in the chest and stomach and the nervous system as well, right? The third thing is that physical symptoms are real, so if you ever experienced a heartbreak, if you don't think a heartbreak is doing something to you physically, explain why you lose an appetite, why you lose your appetite while dealing with a heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? Let's explain why it's hard for you to sleep when experiencing a heartbreak. And that's because that is physically altering the way that your body is functioning. So man, Blackamore, I got a question for you, bro. As far as when you think about a heartbreak, what's the first memory that comes to mind, when you experience your first heartbreak?
First heartbreak. It's kind of funny looking back on it.
Yeah.
This isn't even in the romantic sense. Uh, I used
Yeah.
to do music. Um, I think I
Okay.
was fairly successful given my circumstances and where I was from and the lack of opportunity at the time. And this is back when MySpace was popping. And somebody hit me up on there. They claimed they was with Slip and Slide Records, and they want to sign me and all these things. I'm thinking I'm about to get my big break. 'Cause I don't remember exactly how I found out, but long story short, it was some bullshit. It was basically about to be a scam, and I had never believed I was about to get on so much more than in that moment because I had just made the Vibe magazine. It's one of like the best 50 rappers in America and stuff like that. So when people was hitting me up, things was feeling more real and getting closer. When I found out that was some bullshit, man, it broke my heart. I ain't gonna lie, man, it broke my heart. So that's the first memory that comes to mind. Probably wasn't what
Yeah,
y'all was expecting.
man. I thought you was gonna bring up a relationship or something.
Nah, man.
You said, man, slip and slide records.
Lip and slide.
Man, I think you know, you know, speaking of music, man, since we talking about heartbreaks, but I'd had a few heartbreaks, you know what I'm saying? It was so I used to do music as well when I was younger, and music was like, when I was younger, I tried a lot of different things. I wanted to be a yo-yoist at one point, when I was younger, probably like 8, 9. And I was real intrigued with how they was able to manipulate this yo-yo and get it to walk the dog and rock the cradle and all that shit. And, and then not too long after that, the music came along, you know, and I understood that when I first started off, I wasn't the best at rapping, but I wanted to get better though, you know what I'm saying? So I ran into one of my homies, my homie to this day, my brother to this day, in freshmen. And he the one that gave me basic framework as far as how he write his verses and so on and so forth. So it would be times where, because me and him would be together all the time, so he'll come across somebody that I probably didn't introduced him to, and they offer him to be a part of what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna name them names or nothing like that. But it was a time where, so he had this thing where um if you came to his studio and you wanted to be a part of what he had going on, he would like ditch you this beat, and you would rap to that beat, and if he liked the song that you created to it, that he produced, then he was willing to work with you, or at least allow you to be a part of what they had going on. So I was excited about that because it made me feel like I was a part of something. And I wanted them to embrace me the same way that they embraced my homie. You know what I'm saying? Because arguably at the time he was better than me because he was rapping
Mm.
longer than me. And I went back home and I wrote to this song, man. I was excited, you know what I'm saying? Took it back to him. I rapped it for him live. He liked it, you know what I'm saying? We recorded it, and it seemed like he was going to allow me to be a part of the movement. So then he asked me like, look, one of the artists that come through here, he got a song and it has an open verse, and we need somebody to hop on it. Um, you want to take that verse? I'm like, hell yeah, let me hear the song. Let me see how it sound. I heard it, and again, that was another moment where I got excited because I feel like he was taking me serious. So I went home, wrote to the beat, and I think the following week I came back. He had threw somebody else on it. You know what I'm saying? He threw somebody else on the same track he told me I can get, and
In
I felt
place of
like it
you,
was a slap in the face a little bit because
he replaced you.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
you know
shit.
what I'm saying? Yeah, he replaced me without me knowing though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And because the time I was there, he was like, "Look, bro, we got an open verse. You want to hop on it?" I'm like, "Yeah." And from the talk we had, that's what the agreement was. You know what I'm saying? So from a week after that, 2 weeks after that, he never communicated the fact that, look, we we finna throw somebody else on the track because he didn't like how you rapped. So he wanted somebody else to get on. So when I came back to the studio ready to do the part, he was like, "Yeah, bro, we recorded it already." I'm like, "Damn, bro, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?" So that it was moments like that where niggas, I felt like niggas wasn't taking me as serious as I wanted them to take me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then years later, so that was a heartbreak for real because I was 15, 14, 15, 16. And I just like, damn, bro, like, what I'm saying? That shit was discouraging a little bit because I felt like, for somebody to be my homie, I felt like y'all didn't really take me as serious as y'all was taking other niggas. And I ended up going, and later in years after that, arguably I became better than, what I'm saying, better than them, what I'm saying,
Hmm.
arguably. Um just with time. But yeah, bro, that was a real heartbreak as far as like the love of music, what I'm saying? But what I wanted to know as far as your relationship though, like what was a heartbreak? Have you ever experienced a heartbreak in a relationship?
Not necessarily with a woman. Yes, we wasn't in a relationship though, and that's where the heartbreak came from because I couldn't get the relationship that I wanted. We was talking. I'm thinking things is
Yeah.
going a certain way, and then she hit me with the, "Oh yeah, I can't. I'm at my boyfriend's house." I'm like, "What? Your boyfriend? You ain't at my house? What?
Mm.
What are you talking about?" That was a little
My God.
heartbreaking. That's probably the most heartbreak I felt to where I feel all the heartbreak symptoms. But when you was mentioning all the things that come with heartbreak, you know what I'm saying? Or even like when I was reading the article, like it compromised your immune system, you felt the different hormones that produce that information
Yeah.
shouldn't be taken lightly, because when we're disappointed in anything, those things are happening. Maybe not at such an intense level as actual heartbreak, but any moments we get disappointed.
Yeah.
And even on the flip side, things where things exceed your expectations, we get the hormones that we want. So I bring that point up to say how,
Mm-hmm.
how holistic health is instead of just only food. Like it's everything.
Yeah, like I think it's the whole anatomy of the body, man. That's why, like, even though the article, from somebody that's probably scrolling by and seeing some shit like that, they probably would have just, disregarded it. But I'm like, okay, this is something that need to be talked about, because not let's not talk about the heartbreak. Like, let's talk about the heartbreak, but let's talk about exactly what that heartbreak made me feel during the process.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Um, so I done had a few of them, man. Obviously, some of them was more intense than others, and a lot of times it involves a female, and again, bro, it was one of them things with you where you was talking to somebody and you wasn't getting what you wanted out the relationship, and you probably was really feeling this person. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe she was throwing mixed signals to make you think y'all was gonna have something more than a friendship, and just out of nowhere, oh yeah, I'm at my nigga house. I'm like, hey man, I'm finna pull up, man. Now you playing. You playing, you know what I'm saying? Hey, now you playing, because you could have said you had a boyfriend, man. Why you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, the niggas heart really be on the line. And luckily for them, they not dealing with somebody that's snapping like, okay, I'm finna shoot the city up. This she think I'm playing. But no, I done had a situation like that, man, where I was I was a female. I was talking to, I probably was about 21, 22 at the time. I was in college, you know what I'm saying? I worked at the restaurant, and I was talking to somebody, and man, I felt she was cool. We kicked it. We did what we did, you know what I'm saying? But to me, I felt like she wasn't trying to give me what I wanted out the relationship. And I mean, bro, don't get me wrong, let me know if I'm reading the room wrong. If
All right.
somebody if somebody takes you to meet their parents, what does that say? Like, if you weren't serious with nobody, would you if you weren't serious with nobody, would you take them to meet your parents?
Well, I will say this: the context depends. Sometimes, like I've only
Hmm.
it's been one time. Well, I guess two times. I've been in two serious relationships where I what's the word? Premeditatedly took them to meet the parents. Like that was the whole purpose of them coming over my mama house was to meet her. And there's been other times where they just was coming over. Maybe we was having a function. Maybe I was just trying to kick it, and I was staying at my mom's. And then I'd be like, "Oh, let me introduce you to my mom right quick."
Hmm.
So I don't know if it was you just happened to be coming over, so she gonna introduce you, or was she primarily bringing you over to it?
Yeah, see, I think sometimes we gotta elaborate on that. Like, okay, what is we doing, man? Because, like, I'm the type that, I mean, for me, if I don't have no serious relationship with you, um, I'm not finna, or if I don't see anything going to a serious level, I'm not finna bring you to meet my mom. You know what I'm saying? Meet my parents. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, maybe that was something that I mistook, but I took that as in, I met your parents on multiple occasions, so I felt like me and you was gonna have something in the future. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when I was really trying to lock things in after some time, it's like she kept blowing that off. You know what I'm saying? And then one day after we kicked it, you know what I'm saying? For some reason, the vibe was just off. After that day, she just stopped coming to see me. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, a week of, you know what I'm saying, a couple weeks later, 2 3 weeks later, after barely texting back and shit. Because, I mean, let's be honest, like, in today's time, people keep their phone in their hand. So if I text you and it take you 3 hours to respond, man, what you doing, man? What's going on? So You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting for 3 hours for you to respond to my message. I know you seen it. So it did 2, 3 weeks done passed, and I see her on Snapchat with somebody else.
Oh man.
I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah. Man, I found myself in the dark. Like it was a tough time, bro, because I really, to me, it's like I'm not the type that like to entertain multiple women. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got it in me to do it. I just don't have the patience for that. So if I come across somebody that I really rock with, it's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? So the same way I'm acting towards you or I'm treating you, I expect the same thing in return. And if you not able to give me what I'm asking for in this relationship, that's all you gotta say, and I can move on to the next. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of other people out here I could talk to, but the matter of the fact is that I want to talk to you though. You know what I'm saying? So if you or build something with you. So if that's not the type of time you on and you just want somebody to kick it with for the time being, you want somebody to lay up with from time to time, that's all you had to do is communicate that. But also, I didn't read the fact that, around that time, she had just got out of a relationship not too long ago. So it could have been one of those relationships where,
Rebound.
one of those things where she just wanted somebody to, said that she could kick it with, lay up from time to time, and just forget about what's going on with the relationship she was just in. But I think I done experienced them, a couple of them, in my younger years, man. And yeah, man, bro, it's just something we got to be careful of. So I wanna ask you this too, bro. When you was going through those moments, what did you notice with your body when you was going through those heartbreaking moments, specifically with the female you just brought up? Uh, what was physically happening with your body during that heartbreak?
How do I describe it? It's because you just feel like if you feel it rush through the whole, like when you read some shit that you really didn't
Yeah,
expect to read. I met my boyfriend. What the? And then it's something just rushed through your whole body. How I don't know how to explain. I don't know what that shit's called, but it was like a rush.
yeah,
And then my heart got to
yeah,
pounding. Those are the main physical
yeah,
sensations I
yeah.
remember. I mean, that's really the only heartbreak symptoms I ever had. Like people talk about. I remember hearing like some of the homies say when they got their heart broke, they couldn't eat, they couldn't sleep. I never lost sleep. I never ever lost my
Hmm.
appetite. I got pictures to prove I never lost my appetite back in the day. I never lost my appetite, never lost sleep, but I but I do remember just this sudden whoosh of something like an intense warmth just flooding my body real fast and then my heart pounding for a while. Those are the main physical sensations
Yeah,
that I remember. It's probably like a little nano heart attack or something.
man. I think so. For me, I experienced the heart pounding like almost instantly. It was like I swear I felt my shit coming out my chest. You know what I'm saying? I could feel it. My shit was beating that hard to where I can hear the thump.
Mm.
And yeah, but like everybody, the body reacts differently. Like for me, I couldn't eat. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's times where I wanted to eat, I was hungry, but it's something in me. Like my mind was so focused on this that it was actually taken away from my ability to eat. And I think the most I went through without eating during the heartbreak, excuse me, it's probably a couple days.
Mm.
And then on that third day, I had to force myself to eat. One thing I didn't lose on was sleep. I never experienced that. But also we have to talk about some people, men or women, go to the extent of ending themselves, killing themselves because the pain is just unbearable. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I really wanted to use this episode as like a lesson, as far as like those who's dealing with heartbreak currently or has dealt with it. You have to find a way to protect yourself. Now, I'm not saying you can't love a motherfucker again or put your heart where, but you have to protect it to an extent, because if you give your heart to the wrong person and they take advantage of it, it's consequences behind that on the physical level. You
So
know what I'm
how
saying?
would you
So
how would you? 'Cause I think I kind of stand alone in my perspective on this subject. So how would you? Well, not alone, but like in the minority. How would you? I guess how would you go about doing that? You said you can love somebody again, but but you still gotta protect it. How does one do that? Like, how do you go out
I
to
I,
go fall in love again
I
and
think
protect your heart at the same?
get to know the person you talking to. I think that's where my mistake was, is that I allowed myself, I threw my heart out there too soon, not really knowing that person's intentions. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes what you want, they don't want. So I think a lot of times, we probably move too quick and want to be with people too fast, and we don't really take the time to know that person. Because I feel like with time, you would then learn that person's intentions and in the relationship y'all have. You know what I'm saying? So now you keeping your heart protected in a way, because it's like, okay, I'm gonna hold on to this until I see what they want. You know what I'm saying? Now once you have an understanding, okay, this person want exactly what I want. Now you can make it available again. And I know that's a stretch, because I told myself a long time ago, like, okay, I don't like this feeling, man. I'm not finna ever allow somebody to make me feel like this again. And I held that, since I'm 33 now, this is 21, 22. And I told myself after I got over those heartbreaks, bro, because they took a couple years, you know what I'm saying? Each one of them, you know what I'm saying, took it maybe like a year and a half, 2 years. And I had to really find things to occupy my time, to really take my mind off of these, in order, because I was going crazy, bro. Mind you, I was in school at the time. I couldn't even achieve the grades that I wanted to achieve. I was going to the gym, but I couldn't bulk up the way that I wanted to bulk, because I couldn't eat, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was really fucking me up mentally on, you know what I'm saying, from both women, you know what I'm saying? So the first heartbreak, I don't really want to talk too much about that one, but me and her was together for a while, you know what I'm saying? And obviously every relationship has its ups and downs, but she ended up leaving for a female, you know what I'm saying? And it made me think, like, damn, what did I do? Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but what did I do wrong? And if I was mistreating you, and that made you want to leave, then cool, I'm not knocking you for that. You know what I'm saying? I would have did the same if I felt like I was being mistreated. But what was I doing so bad as a man that made you want to go be with another broad?
Do
You know
you
what I'm saying?
you still feel
That's
like
what
that
fucked
today?
me up.
Like you played a part in her leaving you for a woman?
I feel like I played a part in her leaving. Now for the woman, that got me. To this day, I never understand it. You know what I'm saying? To this day, I never understand. I think I would have been able to cope with it better if it's like, okay, I wasn't treating her as a man, treating her the way that she wanted to be treated with a man, so she found somebody that could. I think what got me the most is the fact that she left to be with another woman. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the woman is a woman that thinks she's a man. That's what confused me. And and to this day, bro, I would never understand the shit, bro. And that took about a year and a half, 2 years to get over that shit. And then not too long after that, that's when I brought up the relationship um with the girl, going to meet her parents and all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So those happened probably like a year apart or whatever. I'm like, damn. So I experienced a heartbreak, in 2014 with that situation. And then we fast forward to the beginning of 2016, and it happened all over again. And then from there, I told myself, like, I never put my heart in that situation again, because I didn't like how it made me feel as a man. I didn't like the fact that it was preventing me from growing. And I just feel like, man, we gotta figure out ways to really protect ourselves for real, until you know the intentions of that person. Because like when it comes to a heartbreak, it really does do something to you physically.
Mm. Yeah, see here, if I'm being honest, hearing stories like that make me wonder if I ever experienced heartbreak for real. Because I've never been affected that deeply because my mind has always been
Yeah.
there's 4 billion women. I just fucked up with this one. I got 399,999,999.
Yeah.
That's all, that's always been mine. And I also believe in playing offense. You know, high risk, high reward. Yeah, you might get hurt, but you also may not experience like the same intensity of pain you probably gonna feel if it don't work out. On the flip side, if you do, you get to experience that
Yeah.
same intensity of happiness. So to me, that should be worth it. But I'm a high risk type nigga anyway, so I'm probably a little sick in the head. I don't know. But you watch Pop the Balloon?
What is it?
Pop the Balloon? You watch that?
Pop the balloon. You talking about when dudes it be like a 1 versus 20 or some shit?
Yeah. They got
Is
the
that what you
balloons
talking
and
about?
yeah. Like when
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah. I
if they
seen
like
that
them.
shit. I that
Would you do that shit?
yeah, yeah. Uh, oh man, I don't man, cause they'll tell you your flaws quick. Oh
Yeah.
man, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cause if a motherfucker pop a balloon on me, you know what the fuck do you do? Like, cause you know what the premise of the show is. So if somebody popped a balloon, it's probably like, damn, she probably ain't like, and it probably can be some petty shit. Or I don't like his shoes. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the way he dress, or I don't
Hey,
like
that's
his
feedback
haircut.
though.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn. It's like what do you say if the first one popped a balloon? What do you say in front of 19 other women? And then they probably noticed the same shit she just did, and now you got 8 more balloons that done been popped. Man, what the fuck do you say in that situation? You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like shows like that to tell you your flaws quick, because a lot of times dude be feeling like, oh, I could pull anybody. Nah, when
Mm-hmm.
you get that balloon popped, you know what I'm saying? That's a reality check. But it's like I don't know, bro. I don't know. You'll do some shit like that?
No, I mean it's hard to imagine now since I'm not on the market, but I don't know. I probably would.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea, but like it's hard for me to imagine right now because I'm not even on the market. That's an interesting idea
Yeah.
though. I'm fascinated by that show, even though every episode pretty much goes the same. I still watch it. I think that's a fascinating show.
But see, I would say this too though. A lot of times dude fail at picking the minds of a woman, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you go on shows like that and you know how to talk to a woman, or they like the way you articulate yourself, I feel like that's a win-win situation. You know what I'm saying? When they sense, okay, he got a head on his shoulder. I like the way he speak. I like the way he asks me. You know what I'm saying? It'd be too many dudes that focuses on one thing, and they come in there with that mindset, or I'm trying to see how she look, or I'm trying to see how thick you know what I'm saying? They come in there with that mindset. But I feel like if you go in and that type of setting, with like I just want them to know who I am as a person, and you do very well with articulating yourself, I feel like things will work in your favor, man. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Absolutely, bro. Like, but like something like that, I don't think I would do it, because I guess I don't really care to know. Like, okay, just because I feel like a lot of times dudes be doing that shit just to see exactly if they still got it, or how many women they can pull. But for me, I don't really feel the need to. I
So
guess I don't
you
really feel the need
you
for that validation, because it's
you feel like you feel like it's impossible to find your other half on there?
nah. I wouldn't say that, because I done seen some where some of the women be decent as far as not their appearance, but their mindset and what they stand for. You know what I'm saying? Granted, you do have some childish women on there that'll say some, oh, he ain't tall enough, or he too short, or like some shit, oh, I need somebody that's 6'2", like some shit like that. So like I think them type of women, it says a lot about their mindset, and they just don't think large enough. But I done seen women on there as well that come on there with the mindset, and they really just seeking for somebody that can match their level on an intellectual level.
So
Yeah,
knowing that there's
I
women
wouldn't say
like that
this
on there, you wouldn't take the risk to potentially connect with one with that
because
mindset.
it's too many childish women. That's where I'm getting at. It's too many like it's probably one, maybe two out of 20 of them. You know what I'm saying? That's just.
You only gotta be right
But
once.
you know what I'm saying. But I'm a confident dude though. So if I was offered that opportunity to go on that shit, I would do it just for the like. I feel like I'm a challenger. I feel like I'm a well put together dude. I feel like my head is on this on correctly. I feel like you know what I'm saying, my appearance is on point. Shit. Let me see what's on here. Let me see what's to it. I feel like I give it a go. Not saying shit will work out with the person but it's more so
Yeah.
like, okay, just a confidence thing, you know. So,
With,
but
with, your, with your
that
two
could be interesting,
relationships,
man.
you said what?
No, that could be interesting if I did go
Yeah.
on some shit like that.
But with your two relationships, did you notice a pattern? Like, was it something consistent in both of them that was unfortunate? I guess is the word. A bad consistency.
Man, I feel like let me see if there was some consistent in both relationships. Man, it was I would say I would say in both relationships I felt like, and I'm not just trying to make it a me thing, like I'm just perfect or I was doing everything correctly, but a lot of times I do feel like people they bypass my intentions and how good of a person I am, you know what I'm saying, and that, you know, uh everybody is human, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I would say this, in both relationships, I was never really told exactly what I was doing wrong before shit went left, you know what I'm saying? I would say that was the consistency of it. You know, that those probably was the most
So you left
consistent
both.
thing
So both of them, you was
out
left
of both
confused.
relationships is that, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now mind you, the first relationship, you know, let's put it like this, bro. If you in a relationship, right? And let's say somebody is texting your woman phone, right? Whoever that may be, and you tell them like, look, I don't want you talking to this person. I don't want you hanging with this person. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, you know, however that situation goes, and they continue to do it. I think it's human for you to get mad at that and for there to be problems in a relationship simply because the person you with is disobeying your wishes as far as like who they want you around. You know what I'm saying? And then their response is, "Oh, you always think someone wants me. That's not the problem. I, as a man, I know this. You know what I'm saying? Not only is there other guys out here that look at you, but now I got to worry about bitches too, because bitches gay now. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. So it was that. You know what I'm saying? It was that, and they act like they was confused on why I was acting the way that I was acting, and that's what caused them to leave because of my attitude. But really, my attitude came from them not obeying my wishes to begin with. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And they ended up leaving a relationship to go be with a broad. So it's like, was I really mistreating you, or you just didn't like my attitude from something that you could have corrected? You know, that's what that was. That's where I was confused at. Is that it's like, man, you're not really telling me what I did wrong. You just said, look, I don't want this relationship no more. And then the same person you told me you not talking to, you end up with her. You know what I'm saying? And then the other relationship is I was just left in the dark, completely confused. You know what I'm saying? One day we was kicking it. I'm not sure exactly what I did wrong, and she just stopped coming around. You know what I'm saying? So both situations left me confused in a way, and I would say that was the consistent part on both ends, is that I was left confused, and I think that's where the heartbreak. I think that's where the heartbreak came from, because it made me question who I am as a person. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like what did I do for you to want to do this. You know what I'm saying? And again, bro, I'm not trying to say I'm perfect, but arguably I was confused in both situations because I just didn't know. If you could
Yeah,
tell me what my flaws were or what I did wrong in this situation, it'd be easier for me to cope with that. But I didn't get that. So I
yeah,
was left to heal, what I'm saying, throughout the next year and a half, 2 years. And then when I finally got to that point, that's when I made a promise to myself, like, man, I can't let nobody get this close because it ain't too many people around you that's good at telling you what you doing wrong, or at least giving you closure on shit before they dip off. And I didn't want my heart to be in that bucket no more.
yeah.
Absolutely, man. And that
So
that shit,
I do.
that's some
I want
shit
the
I don't
audience
talk
to
about a
know.
lot. But
I just want to say, I want the audience to know I got like 8,000 questions and 8,000 ideas, and I'm gonna try to not do that in interest of the time of the show. But for some reason, I like
hey,
talking about this
but bro,
type of
I'm
shit.
about to say, bro, I'm about to but if you want to, bro, we got time for one more, bro. We got time for another question, man. If you got one,
Nah, because
shit. I like
the
answering questions
question to
too,
lead
shit.
to a goddamn answer that'll take 6 weeks to answer. Maybe off camera or something, but we could sound like it's about to progress to something else.
Oh. Okay, yeah. So yeah, man. So this whole episode, bro, like before we close out, I really wanted to use this episode as a lesson for real. And
Mm-hmm.
me and you do very well at uh personal experiences. And I think that's what really set the tone for the episodes is that we pull articles, we see exactly what they're talking about on a scientific level, and then we try to associate our personal experiences as well. So before we close out, bro, like what can be a lesson to the audience, like that has been through a heartbreak or who's somebody who's currently going through a heartbreak? What can
Yeah,
they do to I guess cope with that time better until they're healed from it?
yeah. What I would say is you just gotta. I mean, this may sound cliche and too simple. You just gotta find something else to do. Like you gotta find something to care about. You gotta find like in So I'm gonna bring some Bible scriptures in there. Proverbs 4:23 speaks to what you were saying. Like guard your heart at all costs because
Mm,
everything flows from the heart. Or in the King James version, it says, "Be diligent with your heart because everything flows from it." And then two verses later, it says,
facts.
to part of how to do that is you look ahead. You know what I'm saying? And then I forget the scripture, but I think it's in Ecclesiastes. But King Solomon said, "In all labor there's profit." That tells me just get to work. It's going to be beneficial. And also when you work, so okay, I'm gonna try to connect all of this. Because I think we talked about sleep before. And I believe in that episode, I'm
Hmm.
sure I said at some point in time, they say time heals all wounds, and it's really sleep that heals all wounds. Sometimes we have trouble sleeping. What helps us sleep? You got to
Mm,
give your body a reason to sleep. What gives your body a reason to sleep? You get to work on something, some goal, do something hard, work hard at that goal. Then your mind and body will be exhausted. You will sleep. You will get the rest. And all of a sudden, you start feeling better. You're not thinking about the old heartbreak shit no more. You care more about whatever you're doing. And then you attract better situations and better people into your life anyway. So it all boils down to work hard and rest hard.
yeah, and absolutely, man. And the people that broke your heart probably didn't deserve it to begin with. So leave. We definitely gonna leave with that one. And a heartbreak just makes you stronger. That's just a fact.
Just
As
builds
long
a
as you're strong
callus.
enough to get through it. Yeah, as long as you're strong enough to get through it, once it's completely healed, you will become a better person on top. You will become more diligent with the way that you handle your heart, and you will become more of a professional with the way that you protect it. So that is very important. So like how my brother just said, sleep is what heals the wounds, right? So you have to prioritize sleep. You have to make your days more productive. Don't just be one of those people that just want to sit on the couch and soak in your thoughts. You
Mm-hmm.
drive yourself crazy like that.
Yep.
And sometimes people people go into more serious situations like harming themselves because they have allowed themselves to submerge so far in them thoughts that they don't want to feel the pain no more. So I think that's key. Is sleeping, because sleep is going to heal the wounds, and then you have to stay productive throughout the day. And as long as you stay consistent day after day after day, eventually the heart will heal when you least expect it, you know. So yeah, that's our take on this episode, y'all. Is protect yourself at all costs. Sleep and productivity. That's how you heal the heart from a heartbreak, y'all. Man, so without that being said, you know, make sure you follow my guy Blackamore. IG link is in the description. My IG link is in the description. Give us a follow on IG. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we gonna do our best. We been doing pretty good as far as staying consistent, giving y'all these videos on a weekly basis. And as long as we see the support, y'all, that's what keep us going for real. So yeah, without that being said, y'all, life is good. Life is wonderful. Be blessed to be alive. Self-sufficiency is how you survive. To the kings and queens, to the gods and goddess, forever and always, think successfully. It's sex.